every time you practice a habit, you are being that habit. Hopefully it's a good habit. You are being that habit when you practice it. You are changing you. You are becoming a new creation, and that is good. Your yoga. You're becoming a yogi, and you're becoming healthier, stronger, more flexible, more mobile. And that's what we are after, always. I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is Piper. She always shows up at the right time. And this is your yoga from home, where you do it your way. Just don't hurt your body. That's what the bottom of our screen says. Don't hurt your body. If something hurts, back out of it. Don't do it. That's not the objective. The objective is not how the pose looks. The objective is how the pose feels, and it's going to make you feel good. All the poses make you feel good. Every day our practices are different. Come check them out. You can do all the practices because you modify. You modify to make it work for you. And don't judge yourself. Get out of your head. Just get into your body and just chill. Yoga is said to be the union of body, mind, and spirit. Let it all come together. You really will feel better because of it. All right, a word for you to think about today is the word assess. And assess means to evaluate something, to determine the value of something. And to determine the value of your yoga, we always take a stress number in the beginning of the practice and we go back to it at the end. So think of the scale in the doctor's office from smiley face to frowny face. Where do you fall? Give it a number, assign it a number, and then just right now, quick little assessment. How do you feel? How do you feel in your body? Give it a number and we'll come back to it at the end. Today's practice is all seated with the exception of one balancing pose that's going to be quite a challenge. But during that time, it's just 2 minutes long. During that time, you can continue to stay in our beloved pentacle pose, and I'll talk you through all of it. You're going to need some props for today. The eye shade and a little towel, those always come in handy as you assess what you're going to do in your practice. Assess, assess, assess. Assess. There we go. And then you have a little strap. We are going to use the strap today in a little different way. And a couple of yoga blocks, 2 blocks, 3 blocks, whatever. I've got the half block here. We've talked about that. You know, it just is a little change, something a little different if you want to use it. Then some water. All right, that's it. Come on down to seated. This is an hour-long practice. Stick around as long as you can or as long as you want. In your seated position, let's come into a Sukhasana pose. All right. So for your Sukhasana pose, you're going to be seated on your bottom. You're going to sit crisscross in the legs. Now you decide if crisscrossing the legs doesn't feel right for you, take the bend in the knees as deep as is okay for you. Sukhasana pose, it's also called easy pose. I don't know why it's called easy because it's not easy. You're going to bend your knees greatly. You're going to place one foot on top of the opposite knee. And if you want and if you can bring that bottom foot up and rest it on top of the other knee. All right, I can't do it. I'm not sweating it. I'm going to let it go. Put your hands on your knees. Close your eyes. Try to keep your eyes closed through this little sequence. I'll talk you through. You got to peek occasionally, that's fine, but just try to come to internal peace. Block out everything around you. Hands on your knees. Breathe, lengthen up. Exhale, soften up by audibly exhaling out your mouth. Let it go. Take this time for you and just try. Breathe in deeply. Take it all in. And sigh it out. Feel how your shoulders go down when you sigh it out. Just let it go. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And where are you holding stress? In the eyebrows, in the jaws. Just let it go. Let your hips and your knees kind of just melt down to the mat. Don't hold on. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Big breaths, it's your time. Lengthen up through your arms. Lift your arms high up to the sky. Lift them on up, breathe, Tadasana pose, like an extended mountain pose. Now take your hands, interlace your palms, interlace your fingers, send your palms up to the sky and just sway gently from side to side. Try to keep both bottom cheeks down. Maybe the eyes are still closed. Bend in the elbows feels good. Or maybe you want to straighten the arms. Just little gentle swaying while keeping your balance here. Remember to sigh it out when you breathe out. All right, good job. Come back to hands on your knees. cat-cow pose. We're going to do that in a moment too, but we're going to do a seated cat-cow right now. So to do that, send your belly button towards your navel, tuck your chin towards your chest, round your shoulders forward. Think of doing cat pose. And then cow pose. Let your shoulders go back, let the chin go up to the sky. A few cycles of cat-cow in this seated position. Cat to cow. Exhale, cat. Tuck your belly button to your spine, round your shoulders forward. Breathe. Think of tipping your pelvis in each direction. Cow. Cat. And cow. How does that feel? Just a little bit of movement. Now let's do some side bends. You can keep your eyes closed. Bring one hand down to the earth right outside your thigh. Lift the other arm high up to the sky. And then when you're ready, exhale and let the arm that's lifted, let it reach to the crossbody and across to the other side of the room. Chin is lifted from your chest and your top shoulder is back. Hold it here. Reach a little farther, maybe keeping both bottom cheeks down on your mat. And then slowly finish up. Come back. Remember Tadasana arms, both arms lift high to the sky. Opposite arm comes down to your mat. Find the comfort and security of the earth. Lift up through your opposite arm. And then let that arm cross the midline. Reach the fingers to the side of the room. Bring that top shoulder back and lift your chin off of your chest. Reach deep, far. Slowly, with control, come back to the midline of your body. Let both arms lift high up to the sky. Take a big breath in. And a big softening breath out. Tee out your arms, palms face down. Start to trace little circles with your fingers on the side walls. Little circles, make them a little bigger. Make them as big as you like. These little teeny changes that you do in your yoga, showing up on your mat, just trying little by little teeny changes lead to remarkable results if you just stick with it. If you just stick with it. You got the good habit of yoga going. Take your circles in the other direction with the big circles, and we're going to work them down to small like how we began in the forward movement of the circles. So just invest in yourself. Your yoga is a good habit to be in, and you're investing in your health and your mental well-being. All right, finish up with your arm circles. How did that go? Now give yourself a big hug. Let the elbows cross the midline and just reach your fingers towards your spine as you hug yourself. And as you hug yourself, release your shoulders. Let them come down and let them expand to the sides of the room. Nice big hug, enjoy it. Open up your arms again, tee them out, and then a nice big hug with the opposite arm on top. Hug. Breathe. And then release the arms down to your knees. Hands are on your knees, just kind of our resetting pose. Take a deep breath in. And a big sighing breath out. Let it go. Let's take a seated twist. So gently twist to the right. As you twist to the right, your movement's coming from your torso. Place your right hand behind your low back. Take your left hand to the outside of your right thigh and twist and turn and look over your shoulder. Breathe. Inhales, lengthen your spine, and exhales allow you to soften and take the twist even deeper. Slowly finish, slowly come back to the midline of your body. Hands on both knees, take a big inhale and a big exhale. Take it to the other side, take it to the left. Left hand comes behind your spine, it's kind of a little bit of a kickstand. Right hand comes to the outside of your left thigh and turn. Inhale, exhale, twist. Lengthen and twist, and be at peace, no stress. Let the body do what it can, get your mind and your thoughts and doubt out of the way. And then slowly finish. Slowly come back to the midline. Take a big inhale and a big exhale, both hands on both knees. Bring both hands behind your low back. And we're going to do like a baby back bend. Your hands are a little kickstand. Lift your chin up to the sky. Gaze up with the eyes closed. Breathe. Exhale. Hollow out the belly. Let the arms reach forward. As your gaze comes down, if your eyes were open, but your eyes are closed, right? Bring your gaze toward your knees, toward your navel, and reach further forward. Big breath in. Big peaceful sigh out. Slowly walk your hands back up. Bring them back onto your thighs. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Switch out your legs. You can keep your eyes closed. However you had your legs, bring the opposite leg on top. Or if you got one leg bent and the other straight, well, then straighten the other one and bend the other one. So I am in Sukhasana, so I'm going to re-bend my knees. I'm going to bring my left leg on top this time because I had my right one on top last time. Hands to the knees. Lengthen up. Exhale, soften up. Or soften down, really. Why do we say soften up? Soften down. Soften the shoulders down. Breathe. And how does that top knee feel? You could always slip one of your blocks under your knee if that feels better on that knee, so it's not hanging out in space. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Lift both arms up, up, up to the sky. Think Tadasana. Reach. Interlace your fingers. Send your palms up to the sky. Remember that gentle sway in palm tree? Just gently sway here. You gotta kind of keep your balance a little bit if you're in Sukhasana. Sway gently, chin away from the chest, bend in the elbows if you like. Just move the arms. Come back to the midline of your body. Send your palms high up to the sky. Big breath in. Big breath out. Hands float down to each knee. Cat-cow. Tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, cow. Crown of the head goes up toward the sky. Chin goes up. You kind of a little bit of a arch in the back. Cat-cow a few more times. Just move and breathe. Appreciate what you have. It seems really subtle, and it kind of is, but it's doing great things. You're engaging. You're getting your spine working, warming it up. Maybe one more cycle of cat-cow. Hold on, you got it. Breathe, and then come to stillness at the midline. Plant one hand on the ground beside your thigh. Lift the other arm up to the sky. Let the arm that's lifted go across the midline of your body and reach to the opposite side of the room. That low elbow that's on the earth, you can bend it a little bit to allow you to deepen the stretch, but don't let your bottom cheek pop up off of the mat. Chin away from the chest, top shoulder back more. Oh, that's an intense movement, isn't it? Moving that shoulder back. Breathe. Big sideways flexion of your spine. Breathe. Slowly, really take it slowly. Come back to the midline. Send both arms up to your extended mountain arms pose. Reach through your fingers a little bit more. You got it. Now let the opposite arm come down, touch the earth. Let the opposite arm that's now lifted up to the sky, let it go nice and high, and then cross the midline of your body. Shoulder back, chin away, reach to the side. Soften in your jaws. No stress here. Breathe. Slowly, slowly come back to the midline. Arms shoot up. Extended mountain arms. Breathe. Tee out your arms. This time, palms face up. With your little fingers, draw circles toward the front of the room, making little circles and then making them bigger and bigger still. You make them as big as you like. Take it as rapidly or as slowly as you like, whatever works for you. Take your arm circles in the opposite direction, starting with those big circles, and then working them on down, smaller, 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 till you get back to that starting circle size, like a little pea or a little marble. Breathe. Now take your arms, give yourself a big hug, one arm on top. Pay attention to which one's on top so you can be sure to switch it when we change. Just work your fingers towards your spine, let your shoulders soften away from the ears, and then expand to the sides of your room for a nice tight hug. You're strong, you got it. The arm that's on top, let's open up the arms, and that arm that was on top is now going to become the one on the bottom. Tee out your arms. Exhale, big hug with the opposite arm on top. Fingers reach towards your spine, shoulders soften, breathe. Neck is long, nice tight squeeze, big hug. Release your hands down to your knees. Take a big inhale. Reset as you come back to the midline. Nice job. Let's twist to one side, and to the side that you're twisting, that arm becomes a kickstand behind your bottom. Then the other arm comes to reach the outside of the thigh as you deepen your twist. Really think about inhale, lengthening up to create space in your spine. And on the exhale, really think of twisting. Slowly, slowly, slowly come back to the midline. Take a moment of gratitude here. Bring your hands to prayer center this time. Lengthen up through your spine. Feel the warmth of your hands. Just be grateful for the time that you're having here on your mat, the time that you allowed yourself to be here. It's gonna pay great dividends. Trust the process. All right, when you're ready, other side. Bring that hand down to the mat. Bring it to behind your spine so it's a kickstand. Take the opposite hand to the outside of the other thigh and twist and turn. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist. Slowly finish up. Come back to your midline. Hands on your knees this time. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Soften in the shoulders. Take both hands now behind your back like a kickstand. Send your chin up toward the sky, your chest up toward the sky. Breathe. Appreciate how it feels. Exhale, hollow out the belly. Bring your chin towards your chest. Let your arms reach long to the top of your mat. Exhale the air. Walk your hands as far forward as you like. Eyes go back toward your navel. Breathe in, breathe out. Slowly walk your hands back so you come back up to shoulders over your hips. Hands to your knees, lengthen up. Exhale, let it go. Blink your eyes open. There's the dog. All right, so let's come out of this. Come out slowly. This is an intense pose. We're going to make our way to child's pose. All right. Child's pose, you know this one. How are your ankles feeling? I'm going to circle mine out. So I'm going to circle them out, lifting them off the mat, just circling them and tapping them on the mat. All right, child's pose. You know there are two ways to do it. Lots of variations. Knees can be together, big toes touching, hips back to your heels, arms down by your sides. Forehead can come down to a block or to your mat. As you breathe here, shoulders away from your ears, fingers reaching toward the bottom of your mat, nice, tight, and concise. Another option is knees spread wide, big toes are still touching, hips back to the heels, and arms reaching to the top of the mat. Breathe it out here. Take a big breath in, and a big breath out as you sink your head down to your block or to the earth. Take a few moments here. You've already done a lot of yoga this morning. A couple big sighs out through your mouth. And if you like, close your lips and breathe in and out of your nose as you allow your breath to just be the focus of your thoughts. Big breath in, big breath out. Even your child's pose is a huge beneficial pose to your body. You're lengthening your spine. Nice stretch in your quads and your knees and your ankles. Life is good. You are moving. Breathe in, breathe out. As you're ready, slowly press on up. Let's come to a neutral tabletop. Okay, you know a neutral tabletop. Shoulders are over your wrists. Knees come underneath your hips. When you're ready, cat-cow pose. Tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under, very similar to what we just did, but a little more intense. So think of the belly going up, up, up to the spine. Think of the shoulders nice and strong, pushing into the earth. As you take your exhale, you're going to do just the opposite. The tailbone, bring it up to the sky and bring the crown of your head up to the sky as well. So cat-cow, move your spine this way in the shape of the letter C and a backward C a few times. Cat and cow. Cat and cow. And then finish up. Come back to a neutral tabletop. Let's do a bird dog pose. All right, in your bird dog pose, what you're going to do, let's begin by lifting the right leg. Lift the right leg up and bring the knee to about hip height. Hold it right here, push into your hands, dial your right hip down, and then extend the right leg long. Think of lengthening here. Heel drives to the back of your room. If you'd like to continue with more balancing, add in the left arm, the opposite arm. Reach forward with the opposite arm. Spread the fingers wide, thumb up like a hitchhiker. Push into your foundational limbs here. Even the crown of your head, think of it lengthening more to the front of the room. Lengthen and strengthen your spine, the center of everything. There's a saying that I like, and it is, how old would you be if you didn't know how old you were? Good question. How old would you be if you didn't know how old you were? Hold on, keep holding here, you've got it. Breathe. Left hand comes down, right knee comes down. We'll take the other side. Left leg extends, knee is at about hip height. Send the left leg long and breathe. Add in the right arm if you like. Push into the earth. Right arm reaches, reaches, reaches. All right, so how old would you be if you didn't know how old you were? And the key to that is your spine. And the complimentary saying is, you are as young as your spine is flexible. Well, that sounds good, doesn't it? The more you move, the younger you feel. So keep moving, stay flexible, stay mobile. That's the key to your youth, right? We all want to feel good. Breathe. Let's finish. Hand comes down, knee comes down. A cycle of cat-cow would be a nice way to close this out. Let's do that. Chin to your chest, tailbone under. Cow pose, crown of the head and tailbone lift. Slide down to your belly. Let's do broken wing. All right, this is intense for the shoulders, but it's a good one. Come on down to your belly. Tee out your left arm so it's nice and straight. Bend your left arm. Did I say left? Tee out your left arm. Right arm, bend it. Fingers spread wide underneath your collarbone. Roll onto your left hip. As you roll onto your left hip, the right hand is where is the driver. Right hand, the more you push into the right hand, the more intensely you'll feel it in the left shoulder. A couple things you can do with your legs. Keep them long and straight. Give them a gentle bend. Keep them long and straight. Bend the top knee and bring the sole of that right foot down in front of the extended left leg. It changes the sensation a little bit in the shoulder. You decide if you like it or not. You could also bring that sole of the foot behind the right knee, pressing it into the ground, and the knee goes up to the sky. You decide which variation you want to take. Press into the hand a little bit more to intensify this stretch in your broken wing. Big breaths in, big breaths out, always. come back to your breath. If your breath is shallow, it means you need to kind of recheck yourself. Back out of the pose a little bit. Get your breath under control. Nice, calm, deep breaths. It's intense in the shoulder, but it's good. As long as it doesn't hurt, you're golden. All right, that was one side. Let's do the other. Roll onto your belly. Tee out the opposite arm, the right arm. Bend your left arm. Bring it under the shoulder. Roll onto the right hip. Left hand is your kickstand. Remember your legs. You can keep them long. Put a little bend in them. Keep the bottom leg long and the top foot can press into the earth, driving the knee up to the sky. You can bring it behind the knee or in front of the knee. You decide what you want to do. Unclench your jaws. Using that left hand, take this to the intensity that you like, because you're in control. Breathe. This is your broken wing. And when you're ready, finish. Send the legs long. Roll onto your belly. Bend both elbows. Bring them underneath your shoulders. Press on up into what's called a seal pose. And think about sending your glutes to the side of the room, nice and wide in the hips. And then let's press on up. You might want to get a drink because we're going to do a plank. All right, so we do planks often. We do planks just about every day. And we set a timer for 1 minute. You decide how long you want to do your plank. The timer is there only if you want some measure, a way to measure your progress in your practice, and you will progress. Get ready to set up for the variation of plank that you like. You know there are many variations. You can take a gentle plank with your knees spread, arms walked forward, and hinge your weight a little bit forward into your arms. You can stay that way. You could drop down to your forearms, bring your knees a little closer together and further away, and press into your forearms here, keeping the shoulders over the elbows. You could tuck your toes under and press on up through your legs and take a dolphin plank. I'm going to come to a high plank today, but you take the plank that's right for you. Let's get into position and let's set the timer and let's begin now. All right, so our timer has started. 1 minute. It's up to you if you stay the whole time or not. You decide. Come out of it anytime you like. So press the earth away. Arms are right underneath your shoulders. Feet are hip-width distance apart. We're already 15 seconds in. You've got it. Take breaks as you need. You could drop to your knees and rest there for a breath or two if you're in a high plank. You could send your hips high and come into a downward facing dog for a breath or two if you like. We're more than halfway there if you're going for the full minute. Fingers spread wide, lengthen through your spine. Breathe. Breathe deeply. We have less than 20 seconds to go. You got this. Re-engage your belly. Stay strong in the arms. Stay strong in your mind for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. You have this. Hold on 1 second and done. Come on down. You did it. You did a 1 minute plank or however long you did. It's progress. Don't be discouraged. Be encouraged. All right, I'm going to grab a drink of water and then we're going to come into a pentacle pose. Hi, Esther. Hi, Stan. Hi, Liz. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Marietta. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Rosemary. All right, come on down to your bottoms. Pentacle pose. Remember this one? Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the getting here. Feet spread wide. Heels at the bottom of your mat. Fully recline. Arms overhead. Like a capital letter X. All right, depending upon your shoulder mobility, maybe the X doesn't feel so good. Maybe you begin with the arms down by your sides, palms up and tee them out a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. Think of like a child doing a snow angel. Take it as far as you like. I know, Mary Jo, you mentioned this the other day saying, I can't get my arms all the way up with my palms or with my backs of my hands down. Let me know. Tell me what works and what doesn't work, and I'll let you know how you can modify. So try that snow angel thing, Mary Jo. Arms down by your sides. Tee them out, bring them up a little higher, however you like. All right, now, here is your choice. You can stay here in your pentacle pose, and stay all on the ground. What I'm gonna do in a moment, after I enjoy this pentacle a little bit longer and just reset my body, I'm going to come up to a standing pose, and we're gonna do one standing pose today, and it's gonna be tree. And you're gonna take the variation of tree you like, but what we're gonna do a little differently, it's a bit of a challenge, but challenges are good, right? How do we grow if we don't challenge ourselves? It's gonna be a 1-minute tree pose on each side. But you don't have to do that. You can do 30 seconds, take a little rest, and then come back in. You decide. All right, so if you want to stay in pentacle to keep it all on the ground, stay here. If you want to join me in tree, arms down by your sides, legs together, press on up to seated. Arms come into a neutral tabletop position. Tuck your toes. We're going to squeeze in a downward facing dog to get up here. So straighten your legs, hips go high, breathe. Heels are a little lifted. Go ahead and pedal through them. Arms are pushing into the earth, and your gaze is back towards your knees or your navel. Shake your neck, no tension in the neck. Still your feet. Walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands. Sweep your arms up to the sides. Come into your extended mountain pose. Arms lifted nice and high. And breathe, wiggle your hips. You got this. You can do it. Lift, rise on up. Arms go high. Breathe. There we go. Soften in your shoulders. Tree pose, hands to prayer center. Close your eyes, breathe. You could have a chair here if you want for balance. I'm going to take the weight into my left leg, open up the right knee to the side of the room. You can kickstand the right foot, bringing the heel inside the left ankle and stay right here. You can bring it a little bit higher up onto the calf or higher still up into the thigh. You decide where you want to place it, just don't put it on the knee. When you're ready, let's begin a 1-minute timer here. So hands to prayer center. You can grow your branches if you like. Just take this time and play with your tree any way you like. All right, we're already about 10 seconds in. It helps to keep your balance by looking up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Wave your arms, push the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot, and if you fall out, no big deal, get right back in. We're almost halfway there. Hands can stay on your hips, or maybe you got that chair nearby. Lengthen up through your chest, through the crown of your head. Stay strong. You can do this. You've done harder things than this. Find your balance any way you like. Arms to prayer center in gratitude and thankfulness for what you're doing. Keep that focus up toward the sky for these last 10 seconds. You got this. Your foot is strong. Your body is strong. Your mind is strong. And you have done a 1-minute tree. Bring the knee around to the front of the room. Plant the foot down. And we're going to do it again. So get into position on the other side. Root into the opposite leg. Take the variation of tree that speaks to you. I'm going to bring my left foot up, up, up into the inside of the right thigh. Pushing the foot into the leg and leg into the foot. Get in position and let's start the timer now. All right, here we go. Timer is going to go. Here we go. 1 minute. We've got it. Gaze up. Grow your branches if you like. Don't worry about the time. I'll give you 10-second hacks. All right. So you've done it 10 seconds already. Breathe. Focus. Don't worry. You got it. Any way you take it is grand. All right. You're 20 seconds in. Nice job. Breathe. Sway your branches if you like. You're halfway there. 30 seconds. Breathe. You're 40 seconds in, right about now. Breathe. Find peace. You've got it. You have done 50 seconds of this tree pose. Good balancing. Yeah, less than 10 seconds to go. Hold on, push, lift. You've got it and you've done it. 1 minute. Bring the knee back to the midline of the body, back to the front of the room. Plant the left foot next to the right, hands to prayer center. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Gratitude. Be thankful for your good balance. Good, strong balance. You did it. You've done it. Awesome. Let's fold forward. Fold forward, reach your fingers toward the earth. We're going to meet our friends who are back in pentacle pose. Wiggle your knees, take this nice forward fold. Don't stress out here. Knees can have a little bend. Look back to your knees or up towards your belly button. Walk your hands forward, bend your knees, come on down to your mat. All right, we're going to go into a wide-legged forward fold. So, if you are in pentacle pose, keep your legs and spread them nice and wide. Come on up to a seated position. We're going to spread our legs wide. Shoulders over your hips. We should all meet back in this pose now, if you like, but if you want to stay in pentacle for the rest of the practice, that's fine too. Gonna bring the 2 blocks in between my legs, spread my legs nice and wide, and using the blocks at whatever height feels right, maybe bring the forearms down onto it. You want to feel a tilt forward, and you want to feel a nice good stretch in your inner thighs. Maybe lower the height of the blocks. Just play with it. This is up to you. These tools are meant to use however is best for you to reach your personal goals. I'm going to bring my forehead down. Breathe in, breathe out. Just be mindful of your breath. The inhale makes your spine long, and the exhale allows you to come a little bit further maybe. Adjust your blocks. And just enjoy the movement, the flexibility in your body here. As you're ready, we're not going to stay here very long. Press on up, shoulders over your hips. Bring your legs together. All right, during the little countdown timer at the beginning, I showed you what we're going to do with this strap today. If you don't have the strap, that's okay. The strap intensifies it and makes it a really fun pose. So what you want to do with your strap is bring it around your waist. You're seated. Bring the strap around your waist. Put it really low on your waist, kind of almost on your bottom. Take the, not quite, okay, bring the strap around your low back. Take the strap and bring the ends through and create a giant circle. All right, with that giant circle, put the rings a little bit to the side. You're going to bend your knees. Think Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. This is a bound angle pose. And if you don't have the strap, you can be doing this without the strap. The strap just intensifies it. Draw your heels up towards your groin. Soles of the feet are touching each other. Place the strap underneath your feet. So the strap is on the pinky toe side of your foot. All right, get it adjusted here. And that little tail, the little bit of the strap, you're going to pull that a little bit tighter. If you don't have it, that's fine. No strap, you could just grab your low shins and hug your heels in. We're going to come to recline here. Come all the way down. Now the strap is at your low back, and the strap is coming up over the tops of your hip bones. Grab the little tail of the strap and pull it tightly. Pull it as tightly as feels comfortable for you. Knees open wide. Breathe. Now, if you're in this position without the strap and it doesn't feel so good to have your knees hanging out in space, you could slip the blocks underneath your knees. So this is your bound angle pose. Arms, what do you want to do with them? They're nice and mobile because we did that broken wing pose today and we've done pentacle. Maybe you want to snow angel them. Maybe you want to bring them up overhead. Maybe you want to bend the elbows and reach toward opposite elbow creases. Maybe that's what you'd like, or anywhere in between. You got to be your own advocate, your own coach here. What is comfortable for you? To allow you to connect with your breath and your heart rate. Big breath in and big breath out. You can stay in this bound angle pose. In fact, I like this pose so much today. I haven't done it for a while in the class. Think tomorrow, when we do our restorative practice, we'll do this bound angle pose and we'll hold it for maybe 3 to 5 minutes. But today, we're going to move on out of it. Just a taste of it, right? Just going through the motions. All right, let's undo the strap. Now you might have to press up onto your elbows or whatever, or lift your feet up. Undo the strap. Remove the strap. Take it away. With the strap away, let's come into a dead bug pose. Knees are bent. Bring your knees up over your hips. Bring your shins parallel to the sky. Press into your thighs with your really strong arms. And then press back with your strong thighs into your hands. Hold it here. Breathe here. Stay nice and strong and solid. Almost work to the point of just shaking. Push the thighs further up into the hands. Push the hands, make them resist, and push the thighs further away. Breathe. Finish. Feet come down. Find that strap. Hopefully it's not too far away. Bring the strap underneath your feet. Lift your legs high up to the sky. You can keep the circle or undo it if you like. It's up to you. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do boat pose. When you're ready, hold on to the strap. Let your heels work toward the earth and take them nice and slowly, as if they're like lead in your heels. Bring your shoulders up slowly. Slowly come on up to your boat pose with control. Shoulders are back. Back is flat. Feet are lifted. Elbows hugged in. Hold. Big breath in. Big breath out. Sigh it out. Soften through the shoulders. Hold here in your boat. Back is flat. You got this. When you're ready, heels come down. Walk your hands down the strap as you look to your toes, to your ankles, to your knees, to your navel. Come on up. Shoulders over your hips. Remove the strap. Come onto your belly. Superman to swimmer. Once on your belly, arms reach long to the There we go. How's that? Got it? All right, good. Sorry about that. When I came down, kind of lost you for a second. All right, reach your arms long to the top of the mat. Superman pose. Begin by lifting one leg, then the other. That alone is a challenge. Lift the one leg, feel the strengthening of your low back. Lift one leg, then alternate to the other. Maybe lift both legs up. When you're ready, maybe peel the arms up, gaze down your nose and lift. Think of Superman flying in the air. Breathe, reach, lengthen, adjust your legs, your arms to whatever feels right for you. Take it to a Pilates move called swimmer. Kick your feet, let your arms just naturally move. Kick your feet. Think of swimming. You're balancing on your pelvis. You're strong. You got it. Breathe. Finish. Come on down. Superman needs to rest too. Come on down. Bend your hands. Bend your elbows. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press on up. Remember seal pose. Hips to the sides of your mat. Breathe. Let's come on and roll over onto our backs for bridge pose. Once on your back, bend your knees. Soles of your feet are on your mat. Arms are down by your sides. Shoulders away from your ears. Gently press on up into your feet. Lift your hips on up. Maybe take it farther. Lift higher. Breathe. Hips can go higher. Now your shoulders. Wiggle your shoulders so you're tucking your shoulders underneath, your shoulder blades underneath your back. Arms are down by your sides. Maybe interlace your fingers. Press your pinkies into the mat and lift your hips even higher. Breathe. Release your hands down by your sides if you took that option of interlacing them behind your back, and then lower your spine down one vertebra at a time. Once it's down, extend your left leg long. Draw the left heel to the bottom of the mat. Hug the right knee in with your hands. Interlaced fingers underneath the right knee, or use a towel. Hug it in. Left hand holds onto the right knee as you roll onto your left hip. Right arm tees out, shoulder stays down, and you look to the right for your supine twist. Right hip comes down, gaze goes back up to the sky. Hug your right knee in again. Circle your ankle in both directions. So right leg's turned to go long now. Right heel drives to the bottom of the mat. Feel the length all up and down that right side of your body. Left knee bends, interlaced fingers or a towel. Hug the left knee in. Shoulders are soft, hugging the knee in. Right hand guides the left knee across the midline of the body. Roll onto the right hip. Left arm tees out, keeping the left shoulder down, and try to look a little more to the left. Breathe. Slowly bring your gaze to the sky, your left hip down to the mat. Interlaced fingers, hug your left knee in again, and you circle the ankle in one direction, then the other. Left leg goes long on your mat, and you press on up to find your two blocks, your eye shade and your towel. Eye shade and towel go up towards your shoulders. Blocks, we're going to do fish. Now for your fish pose today, your blocks have two heights. You can place them at the low height. You can place them at the medium height. Have a space of about 6 to 8 inches, depending upon the length of your neck, in between the two blocks. The blocks are like a letter T. Come to recline on this first block. Use your hands to adjust the block so it's between your shoulder blades. You want your bottom down on your mat. You don't want the bottom lifted. You don't want the block so low that your bottom has to be lifted. You're seated. Bottom is on the ground. The other block is between the shoulder blades, and then adjust the head block so your head rests on it. Get comfortable here. Maybe you got to wiggle a little bit. Arms down by your sides. Legs can be long. Let's address the legs first. All right, you can have your legs long. You can have the knees bent with the soles of your feet on your mat. That feels good for your low back. Or remember the bound ankle pose. We can bring our soles of our feet together and open up through our knees. You can stay right here, kind of like a fishtail. Take the pose that's comfortable for you in the legs. Now your arms, you can keep them down by your sides. You can tee them out a little bit if you like that. Like that snow angel. Remember we did that a moment ago? Bring the arms however you like. Your chest is lifted. Oh, don't you feel it though? That block is right between your shoulder blades. Chest is lifted, head is back. So good for your standing posture and just opening up the chest, allowing you to breathe. This is such an emotional pose for so many people as well. I see so many tears come in this pose, not from pain, because you don't want to feel pain, but just the emotional release is pretty incredible. This is another pose. Let's take it longer tomorrow. What do you think? We'll take this pose longer, and we'll do it on a bolster, so it's a little more comfortable. Breathe here. Let the tension go. This is encouraging good posture. Breathe in, breathe out. Stay longer if you like. It is up to you. Such a comfortable pose. In a few minutes, we're going to come into our final Shavasana pose. But if this is speaking to you, you could always stay here as well. Stay here as long as it's okay with you. If it is painful, you want to come out. And to come out, you would just roll off the blocks, one side or the other. And then you can prepare for your final Shavasana. And don't run out. That is such an important pose. At the end of the practice, we usually start a yoga practice in a child's pose or a seated meditative pose, and we end in a final Shavasana pose. Shavasana means corpse pose. And the idea is, that's the position you're in when you pass away. But the idea is to just, everything that has happened to you before your yoga, you just want to let it go. You're dead to the old self, and you're about to be born into a new self. So that's kind of a nice way of thinking of the rebirth of your practice. So I'm still in my fish pose, letting my shoulders soften away from the ears, down toward the mat, chest is lifted. This feels like a Superman pose in the chest, doesn't it? Big breath in, big breath out. So many of us have that forward tilt position because so many of us, even young people, are on their phones so much that they've got the shoulders hunched forward, the neck like a turtle looking down. This pose counters that text neck position. Neck is long, head is back, shoulders are back and down. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. The whole idea of your yoga is about alignment. Alignment of the body, the mind, and the soul. But in the body, just having everything straight and properly aligned so it can function better. The structure, the bone structure, stacked for strength. Breathe in, breathe out. You can stay here in your fish pose if you like. Or maybe you want to check out corpse pose with a fresh perspective on it. So I'm going to come out of this. First thing I'm going to do is bring my knees back to the midline and send my legs long on the mat. I'm going to roll off the blocks because I just want to minimize the movement. Roll off the blocks, push them aside, and come into your final Shavasana pose. The eye shade is wonderful because it is weighted. It feels really good on the eyes. So maybe make one or buy one and enjoy the eye shade. If you don't have that, you can cover your eyes with your towel. Arms down by your sides, palms face up. Breathe. Soften in your shoulders. Maybe tuck your shoulders under and away from your neck. Tuck them back. Let your shoulders rest into the mat. Eyes are closed. Breathe. Soften the area between your eyebrows. Remove the tongue from the roof of your mouth and unclench your jaws if your teeth are touching. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. No movement, no thoughts, just your deep breathing, any way that feels right to you. Revisit the area between your eyebrows. Soften in the brow. Soften in the cheeks, in the throat, in the shoulders. Limbs are heavy, and you are at peace. stay here longer if you like. If you need to conclude the hour, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes slightly. Then work the motion up into the feet and the hands. Maybe move the fingers independently and move the toes independently too. Now work it into the wrists and the ankles. Circle them out. Inhale and reach high overhead as if it were the first stretch of your morning, and let one arm reach higher than the other. And then let the other arm reach higher than that one. Back and forth. Stretch it out. Reach almost as if you're climbing. Bring your arms down by your sides. Turn your head from left to right. Little bit of a skull massage. That feels good. Turn it left, turn it right. How far do you want to take it? And then finish up. Come back to the midline. Bend your knees and bend your elbows. Roll onto one hip or the other. Use your low arms bicep as a pillow for your head and rest in this fetal position. Top shoulder is soft and away from the ears. Eyes are closed, just like how we began our practice. Breathe deeply and savor this moment. It'll never, ever come again. When you're ready, as you're ready, slowly press on up to a comfortable seated position. No need to hurry. You sit however you like. Eyes can continue to be closed. Hands to prayer center, always a good place to be. Lengthen up through the crown of your head and soften in the shoulders. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Gently blink your eyes open. You did it. 1 hour. Doesn't it go by quickly? I think it does. I hope it does for you too. All right, rest assured that you're on a good path. You just got to stick with the path. It may deviate here and there. All of our paths do, but come back to your path. Stay the course. Ignore the distractions of doubt. How's that? The distractions of doubt. There are so many. Ignore the distractions of doubt that attempt to pull you away. Time distractions, people distractions. No, you need to come back to center so you can be better in all that you do off of your mat. So come back to your yoga every day. Find peace in your body and just have fun. All right, you took a stress number in the beginning, kind of that measurement for you to assess how you feel and what the yoga does for you. It's the best measure we can take. What was the number then and what is it now? I guarantee it's a lot lower. I know you're feeling better. Every little bit of yoga helps. And sometimes you think a movement, oh, there's not much to that. Like the seated cat-cow, you think, oh, it's not intense enough. It's not always about the intensity. It's working wonders in your head too. So check us out. Stick with it. See you on your mats tomorrow for yet another yoga practice. Have a great day, everybody. Love you guys. Goodbye. Where's Bonnie? Hey, Bonnie, come here. Bonnie, 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 come on. Bonnie, come. Bonnie, come. She's moving a little slow these days. How are you, girl? All right, have a good day, everybody. Release judgment on yourself and take some time just for you. Self-care means taking time to pause. And that's what you do each day with your yoga. I'm glad that you're still sticking around to check us out every single day for a different practice. You know that. And tell your friends the same thing too. Every day is different. They can do every day because they modify. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody. So tell them to join in. There's no excuse not to. They can practice self-love in this month of love. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can check out our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Come to your yoga tomorrow. Come to your yoga the next day. Come to your yoga the next day. It's all good as you practice self-love and just appreciate yourself a little bit more each day. See you on your mats tomorrow.